Mr. Saboo, thank you very much for speaking with Autocar Professional
Yeah,
here at the 64th ACMA
my
Annual
pleasure.
Convention.
Mm.
I want to understand from you, the industry is going through this mega transformation towards electric vehicles, greener mobility,
Yeah,
sustainability. Your broad thoughts about it, how do you see this change going? And, as NBC Bearings, what is your strategy to address this change going forward?
yeah. So as you see, electrical vehicles, I think the world is moving towards more four-wheelers, but India is progressing towards more two-wheelers and three-wheelers,
Right.
at least as of now.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, there are four-wheelers, and in the future, we will progress towards four-wheelers also. But the key component of the EV industry, that is the batteries and the fuel cells, that needs to be developed in India. That
Mm-hmm.
will be the key to not only Atmanirbhar Bharat, but to key to bringing the cost down of the EVs and take it forward.
Mm-hmm.
And EVs now are a no-brainer. The growth can go up and down, but it is very clear that the future belong to EVs,
Mm-hmm.
either in this form or in any other form. I don't know, but that is there. As far as NBC is concerned, we are lucky to have invested in EV bearings more than 6 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So we were ready for the industry when it started growing,
Mm-hmm.
and currently we are supplying bearings to all the EV manufacturers in India,
Mm-hmm.
and some abroad also. And the key is the innovation that has been brought, because you see that the EV vehicles have no noise,
Yeah.
so even a slight noise
Right.
will create a discomfort.
Right.
So one is that, and also the torque is on the higher side, and friction is
Mm-hmm.
required is on the lesser side. So we have done our own internal R&D and developed bearings especially for the
Mm-hmm.
EV industry.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're supplying this across all vehicle categories, passenger vehicles, two-wheelers, commercial vehicles. I
Right.
mean, not so much right now action in that particular
Yeah,
space.
yeah. So we are supplying to all
Mm-hmm.
in India and some in Europe also.
Okay. And do you see the demand right now more for your products overseas in Europe, or you're seeing an equal distribution across the two markets?
No, see, the demand definitely, as far as quantity is concerned, is more in Europe.
Right.
But India is also growing, especially as I said earlier, in the
Yeah.
two-wheeler and the three-wheeler
Right.
segment.
Right.
So that is a good trend that is happening right now.
Right. And you said that when battery gets localized, that is going to be the inflection point for EV
Inflection
volumes.
point, because still, if you compare the initial cost of EV vehicle compared to IC
Yeah.
engine vehicle is slightly on the higher side, even after the government incentives and
Right.
the both central and state government
Right.
incentives. So sometimes that plays a part, at least in the minds of the marginal customers.
Right.
So as the cost goes down, there will be a hockey stick effect, and the EVs will just take off.
Right.
Yeah.
And but also, globally we are seeing this slowdown right now in EV
Yes.
volumes, be it Europe or the
Yeah.
US. So as NBC, I mean, are you still bullish about EVs going forward? And do you remain steady on you remain committed on your investment roadmap going forward in India?
So if you see the percentage of EV as compared to the total vehicle population, it is still very low.
Right.
So the only way is upwards.
Okay.
And as I said earlier, the industry will have its ups and downs,
Right.
because there are some lot of questions. There are always some negative. I mean, there are both parts in the media. There's some negative parts and some positive
Right.
parts. So this will play.
Right.
These will play, and so eventually we think that the growth will be there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And could you give a sense of your investment that you've committed towards EV components going forward?
So, EV components, see, all our future investments is towards these new types of bearings, which means less friction, less
Right.
noise, this thing, which will benefit not only the EV segment but the IC engine segment also. So,
Okay.
we will continue to supply our new innovative low friction bearings to the IC engine also.
Right.
Yeah.
And in
So,
terms of your manufacturing footprint right now, I mean, are
mhm.
you also looking at augmenting your capacities, anticipating more demand going
Yes,
forward?
that is true. We have currently four plants, and we have just started our fifth plant about 40 kilometers west of Jaipur in a place called Chitroli near Bagru.
Hmm.
So we have just our first building is ready. We have already put about four lines there, and it has a capacity to bring 18 lines, and we are starting construction of the next building also.
Okay.
We have a fairly large land there, so the next 4 years of investment, 4 5 years of investment will be in this plant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. And lastly, Mr. Sabu, your outlook on the industry. I mean, this year it is expected that the industry is not going to grow at a very high pace because of a very high year ago base. So your outlook, how do you see the growth by the end of this fiscal in the passenger vehicle and the two-wheeler categories that are prime categories for you?
See, you can see it, the industry in two ways, the short term and the long term.
Hmm.
Short term, if you see this year is going to be flat
Right.
or slightly negative. No,
Hmm.
I mean, we are seeing all indication towards that.
Right.
But if you see a medium to long term, 5 to 10 years, in the opening session, Dr. Pawan Goenka also mentioned that in about 15 to 20 years, will be a 1.5 trillion dollar industry in itself. So the future is very bullish,
Right.
and the key will be how we automate our lines, how
Hmm.
we bring the cost down, how we become globally competitive, and also how we be more and more innovative. So for that, I mean, we have a very large R&D here, and not only that, we have now opened a R&D center in Germany
Hmm.
to get the latest trends in technologies which we can bring
Deploy
to
in
India.
India.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Right. Mr. Sabu, thank you very much for taking
Thank
our
you.
time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you very
Thanks a
much.
lot.
Thanks a lot,
Thank you.
man.